Alright, so it's the 22nd of October 2025 and this is a protest to end sex-selective abortions. It's put on by a woman called Joanna Howe, who's been here a number of times over the period, and they often get a counter-protest as well, which I haven't seen anything about today, but you never know. So the cops have completely blocked off Macquarie Street. It's going to be outside the excuse me, it's going to be outside the Parliament House. Normally they fill the whole, the first one, I think I've been to 3 so far, the first one they only blocked off half the street, and it was just like insanely dangerous that people were just about to get run over because so many turned up. The second one, I think they blocked off the whole street, and then the counter protesters they tried to go in, and then they got pushed over here, so there was a line of cops. So I'll post the links back to the old ones. So now it's all pretty, I'm about 10 minutes early maybe, so it's not a massive crowd compared to what they normally have, but they always have the pink balloons. They've got an Aussie flag there in the distance and reasonable number of cops. There's the boss over there with the big hat on, chatting to someone, Gary. No sign of any counter protesters, and like I said, no indication on there where I can find out about things. Nothing to indicate that they'll be in. So they usually have a stage as well, which hopefully they have today. Otherwise it's very hard to see them. So the stage will normally be at the front here, if there is one, usually near the balloons. So there is something over there. It looks more like a table than a stage, but that might be it. But I don't want to get boxed in too early in case there's a, it is a stage. Yeah, so and they're getting, doing some, people are writing their messages with textures on here. So that's going on. There's a reasonable number of people here. I'm sure it will grow because, like I said, it's a bit early still. And I don't know about the counter protest, but we'll see. Last time I stayed, I didn't get the, I didn't stay here for the rally because I got caught. I got caught behind the lines of the counter protesters, so I went over to that side. Let's pause it for a minute, and we will see what goes on. All right, just had a chat to someone, one of the guys from the old Freedom Days. Yeah, there doesn't appear to be a counter at all today. They would have been here by now. They've handed out their pink balloons now, so they're all floating around the area, and the numbers have swelled. As you can see, it's crossed the road now out to the front of the other church on the other side, or the church, not that the Parliament House, the church. So the numbers will swell, I'm sure. I'll float around this end for a minute till it kicks off, and then I'll try and push through to the middle, which sometimes can be hard. Oh, it's kicking off. Let's go in now then. Sounds like the counters aren't coming. Let's try and squeeze in. Where is she? Oh, there she is. That's Joanna Howe. Very pink.
We're seeing abortion on demand right after birth. We're seeing kids being transitioned in school against the will of their parents. We're seeing so many dark and horrible things that are happening, and we need to be activists. But to be activists, we don't have to be dirty like the left, the radical left. We don't have to be unwashed. We can wear a dress. The point is, we need to stand up. Are you willing to stand up for these babies? No doesn't do things he doesn't believe in. He doesn't just do it for power. You see so many politicians just jump on a bandwagon because they think it will get them votes or will buy them that constituency. That's not John Ruddick. And so, please give the biggest welcome of the night to John Ruddick, who's going to talk about his bill.
Well, thanks so much for being here, everybody. And thank you, Joanna, and her husband, James, for organising today. She's been a real inspiration for our office this year, and we really salute the energy and the intelligence and the drive that she's bringing to this debate. I believe this debate has turned a corner, and hopefully what we did today can be the beginning of the tide turning. So what we did today is at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, we introduced a bill which will change the law. We hope. So that will be available on social media. Now we're going to be debating it in probably February, March next year. But the bill is quite simple. It says that we're going to make it a criminal offence to perform an abortion in New South Wales if the purpose was because they didn't want a baby girl, they wanted a baby boy. So we have said, no, this needs to come to an end. Now, I want to walk you through how we got to this point. In 2019, Gladys Berejiklian was the Premier. She was going for re-election. She wasn't really expected to win, and she never campaigned in that campaign. She said, vote for me and I'll bring in radical abortion laws. But she did win, and first thing she did, she introduces radical abortion laws. Now, all abortions are radical. Thank you, sir. Thank you, very good point. Now, during that very long debate, the very good Tanya Davies moved an amendment to say that it should be a crime to conduct an abortion because of gender. Now, very sadly, what happened is that two Liberals, Brad Hazzard and Leslie Williams, who was the member for Port Macquarie, moved an amendment to say, oh, well, look, we'll approve this, what Tanya Davies is saying, but we'll just make it guidelines. There won't be, if you do perform an abortion because of gender, there's no punishment. So that's what they did in 2019, and they said that because they said, well, look, it would be a terrible thing if abortions were taking place because of gender, but it's not happening. That's what they said. Now, there were already good studies. A lot of people, you can read the Hansard, a lot of people said it's just not happening. But there were very good studies out there, which Joanna's told me about, which indicated it was happening. Okay, now that was 2019. Now, what happened earlier this year is that Edith Cowan University and Murdoch University in Western Australia released a report. It was on the front page of the Australian newspaper. It was endorsed by the New South Wales Department of Health, the WA Department of Health, and it was funded by a federal government body. Now this report said it was a 21-year study, and they looked at over 2 million births in WA and New South Wales, and absolutely unequivocally it shows that in certain ethnic community groups with a high male preference, they value boys more than girls, that there is, if the first two children in that family are girls, the chances of that third one being a girl is reduced by about 30%. And that is like over, this is not a small sample, this is over 2 million births we'll look at over 20 years. So, the debate is over. It is happening. And it's tragic that it is happening. And because we've got because we have the unequivocal evidence, this Parliament's got to take action. And the bill is the beginning of that process. So we are... Now, they did say in 2019, pretty much everybody, they said, look, it would be terrible if it was happening, but it's not happening. Okay, well, now that we know it is, okay, so they can't use that argument anymore. So what other argument have they got? They'll say, John Ruddick, you're a racist. That's what they'll say. Well, look, in the last couple of months, I've been called a lot worse than racist. Okay, so I will just say this. This will be just winding up here because we've got a lot of speakers. If I get called a racist, if the price of that is that we start to save thousands of baby girls every year, well, I'll absolutely wear it if that's the case. Now, the last thing I'll say is, you know, I'm sure a lot of people here were familiar with Charlie Kirk. He was a great man, okay? And he really was perfect, you know? He almost looked like an angel, you know? He was a clean skin, he was so intelligent, and he was so courageous and so likeable. Now, he has been tragically assassinated, but look, a lot of good. I believe all around the world, the West has moved to the right. And I believe the left has been winning the culture war since the 1960s. I believe we can turn it around, and today's a good start. Thank you very much.
I don't think I'm going to give it a shot, John. Now, the thing is this, I've got brown skin, you're not racist?
No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, good. And the thing is this, guys, we need to turn politicians who introduce pro-life bills into heroes. Are you ready to be a hero?
I'll do my very best, but you're the hero, Gemma.
No. We're going to do a chant. We are going to do a chant. So when I yell John, you say Ruddick. And we're going to do it so loud so those losers in there will say... Because we have the pro-life ones here. We've got these amazing liberal pro-life politicians.
My name's Naomi Bunker and I'm a registered nurse and have been for about 25 years. I'm also an executive member of Pro-Life Health Professionals Australia. I stand here before you today with professional conviction and moral clarity. Today we gather in support of John Ruddick's bill, a long overdue step towards banning sex-selective abortion in New South Wales. Let me be clear, this is not a religious issue. While many people of faith are rightfully appalled by the idea of ending pregnancy simply because it's a girl, as a health professional, we know that it's wrong on an ethical level, medical level and a human rights level. Back in 2017, then Senator Cory Bernardi tried to raise the alarm. He introduced a bill to stop Medicare funding for sex-selective abortion, warning that our laws were silent in the face of the ugly truth. But his warning fell on deaf ears. Why? Because the critics claimed that there was no evidence to say it was happening in Australia. Well, now we have the evidence. A 2025 peer-reviewed studies confirmed what many of us suspected, that there is a statistically significant imbalance in the sex ratio at birth among certain Australian migrant populations, strongly suggesting that sex-selective abortion is happening here in Australia right now. Let's be honest, this is a form of gender violence, primarily against girls before they're even born. It's a violation of everything Australia stands for, and it flies in the face of our international obligations.
It flies in the face of Yahweh!
Under the United Nations Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, Australia is committed to ending practices that devalue female life. Yet, if we allow babies to be aborted just because they're girls, we're betraying our daughters before they even take their first breath. As a nurse, I've held the hands of women facing difficult pregnancies. I know the complexities and the grief, but I also know that abortion must never become a tool of cultural bias or discrimination. And to my fellow healthcare professionals, we have a duty to speak up. We're trusted to protect life, uphold ethical standards, and I call on you to join Pro-Life Health Professionals Australia, where we stand together in advocating for the dignity of every human life, female and male, born and unborn. If we believe in equality, if we believe in human rights, then banning sex-selective abortion isn't just a moral necessity, it's a human rights imperative. Just in the last couple of weeks in Parliament, they were talking about how it's really important they have more women in Parliament. How do you think they're going to get them? How hypocritical it is of them to not support this bill. Absolute hypocrites if they support the bill, if they don't. Let's be the generation that says no more. No more pretending this isn't happening. No more silence in the face of gender-based violence. And no more laws that allow baby girls to be discarded just because they're girls. No more. We stand here for justice, for truth, and above all, for the equal dignity of every child. Thank you.
Follow PHPA on Facebook and Instagram on X and phpa.life. You don't have to be a health worker to support their work. Anybody can join it, and we really need this organisation to challenge the medical peak bodies who are so captured with abortion. The peak body and gynecologists, OBGYNs, Rachael, they supported Amanda Con's radical Greens bill that would have forced Catholic hospitals to close if they didn't perform abortions. That's how radical the peak bodies have become, and we need to support people like Naomi and Dr Millicent who are trying to change that culture. Alright, so now I'm really pleased to welcome Rachael Wong from Women's Forum Australia. Rachael is an amazing sister in this fight. She is such an incredibly courageous woman who has taken on the job of being the CEO of Women's Forum Australia for many, many years. She gets hate mail, she gets death threats, but she fights for women and girls. And I am so excited to introduce Rachael Wong, the President of Women's Forum Australia.
There we go. Before I start, could you please all give Dr Joanna Howe and her team a round of applause for all they are doing to keep women to As Joe said earlier, those of us here tonight recognise the devastation that abortion inflicts on both children and women. But because abortion has become such a polarising and controversial issue in our society, not everyone is willing or able to face that truth. However, something that should not be controversial and that every person should be able to agree on is that aborting a baby girl simply because she is a girl is abhorrent. At a time when our culture loudly champions equality and an end to violence and discrimination against women and girls, how can anyone possibly turn a blind eye to the most lethal form of sex discrimination imaginable? Around the world, millions of girls are missing because they were never given the chance to be born, with women from some preference cultures facing immense pressure and coercion to abort their daughters. The practice of sex-selective abortion is blatantly anti-women. There are few clearer examples of misogyny than the systematic destruction of girls in the womb and the coercion of their mothers to comply. And yet, so many called feminists stay silent, or worse, defend the indefensible. Because acknowledging this injustice would challenge their ideological commitment to abortion on demand at any cost, even the cost of little girls' lives. When New South Wales passed its extreme abortion laws in 2019, allowing abortion at any stage for any reason, we warned that it would legalise sex-selective abortion. The Attorney General himself admitted it. We presented evidence that sex-selective abortion was already happening around Australia and backed an amendment to ban it. But as John has said, that amendment was disgracefully voted down, despite MPs condemning the practice. Instead, politicians promised a review in 12 months to see if it was happening in New South Wales. That cowardly wait-and-see approach was an appalling failure of young girls in this state, and today we know the cost. The Edith Cowan study of over 2 million births has confirmed what we warned. In New South Wales, certain migrant communities are recording alarming male-biased sex ratios, indicating that sex-selective abortion is happening right here in this state. No longer can our leaders hide behind a lack of data. If we are truly serious about ending violence and discrimination against women and girls, then we must categorically oppose it from the very start. John Ruddick's bill to ban sex-selective abortions is not controversial. It's the bare minimum protection needed to safeguard little girls when they are at their most vulnerable. It says our girls are not disposable. It says that women should not be coerced into ending the lives of their daughters to satisfy cultural prejudice or social pressure. In 2019, our leaders failed the women and girls of New South Wales. Tonight, we demand they do better. They must protect women, they must protect girls, and they must ban the vile practice of sex-selective abortion. Thank you.
Right, I love your fashion, guys. You guys are an amazing crowd, and you know what? This is just the start of the turnaround. So that is the thing that I want to assure you. When we defeated Amanda Cobb's bill in May, because of all of us, that was the moment that we started to turn the tide. Labor and the Greens wanted to pass that horrible bill. That bill that would have forced Catholic hospitals to close, that would have made abortion way more accessible, more babies killed because of that bill. We helped stop it together, and tonight we say we're not just going to be on the defensive, we are going on the offensive. We're not just going to push back, but we are going to take ground, we are going to move forward, we are going to take our culture back from these people. And you know what, after that bill, I'm going to tell you guys something that the Labor Party doesn't want you to know, and this is it. They have the most powerful faction in the Labor Party is something called Emily's List. It was set up in 1996 to get pro-abortion women into politics to make abortion legal up to vote for any reason, and they have been tremendously successful. But do you want to know something? Do you want to know something really cool? After our rally in May, where we started exposing this evil organisation, Emily's List, they have been scrubbing their website. Over 50% of their members in South Australia and in this place, in New South Wales, are no longer listed on the website. Now, it's not because they've had a change of heart and they've decided they don't want to kill babies. It's not because of that. It's because they know it makes them look really bad. Because it is really bad to kill babies. It is bad, it is evil, and we have to say no more. And a young woman who is making a difference is Gemma Noiosi. I'm going to say Noiosi. Gemma Noiosi from the Libertarian Party. Now, Gemma this year set up Libertarians for Life, and that is a faction in the Libertarian Party that is a pro-life faction. Now, we need that in the Liberal Party, we need that in the Labor Party. I don't think we're going to get it in the Greens, okay? I don't think we're going to, they just love killing too much. They really love killing in the Greens, all right? So we do need that. We need men and women in the Labor Party to create Labor for Life. We need Liberals to create Liberals for Life. And I'm so proud of Gemma for creating Libertarians for Life. Could we please welcome Gemma Noiosi?
Hello, Sydney! You guys showed up tonight. I'm so proud of you all. As Joanna said, my name is Gemma Noiosi, and I am the Vice President of the New South Wales Libertarian Party, and I'm so honoured to be here standing on this little stage with these amazing, incredible women who are not afraid to fight the establishment. Joanna is an absolute warrior. You know, we needed a Joanna Howe in this country, and we are so grateful that we have you. I just want to also give a shout out to the incredible women of Birdflip. How inspirational are these women? They are going out into the streets, having conversations with everyday Australians. And they're talking about a contentious issue. So well done, ladies, you inspire me every single day. Now, when the Honourable John Ruddick came to me as Vice President and said that he wanted to put forward this bill in the upper house as a Libertarian, I was like, yes, we need to be talking about abortion, and especially about the eradication of girls in the womb. What's that about in a Western democracy? So, John, I'm so proud of you. I've never been prouder to be a part of your party. We have a serious problem in this country. Leftist women dominate the media. Leftist women dominate social media. And they are currently dominating our parliament across the country. All of us pro-life women especially need to start standing up. Like Joanna said, we are not loud enough. We need to be loud to match their voices. They do not represent our values, and they need to know that. Do they represent us? I am going
with this. As Joanna said, there is a bit of a pro-life faction in the New South Wales Libertarian Division, and we have launched Libertarians for Life. So there's this misconception that Libertarians aren't pro-life. There are many pro-life Libertarians around the world, and we believe that life begins at conception. So we will be fighting for the liberty of the unborn. So if you are a Libertarian, if you identify as a Libertarian politically, join us today so we can fight this establishment that just kills. Thank you.
Gemma, I didn't know she could do that. Let's give her another round of applause. And Gemma said, as Libertarians, they believe that she said that Libertarians for Life believes that life begins at conception. Well, we don't just believe it, guys. It is a fact. Isn't that right? Life begins at conception. Every abortion kills a human being. And if you are for abortion, you are anti-human rights. That's the facts. We need to spread that loud and clear. Now, I know we're talking a lot about the girls and we're talking a lot about the women. And I reckon some of the blokes are beginning to feel a bit left out. But don't worry, because we value you, and men are so important in this fight. Men are so important to saving these babies. We need strong men. I was interviewing a midwife earlier today who had witnessed many, many abortions over 20 years. And something she told me is that after the abortions, the women just look so sad. And it breaks my heart to think of these women who have killed their baby and they've got that on their conscience for the rest of their life. And that baby's cells stay in that mother's body for the rest of her life. She might have killed that baby's soul, but that baby hasn't left her body. And you know what? It's just such a tragedy that so many women, 1 in 4 women are having these abortions, and it's up to us to get the truth out. Earlier this year, I had a girl reach out to me, and she was just 1 year out of high school. And she just DM'd me and she said, Jo, you know, I got pregnant unexpectedly. We've only been together for about 2 months. But because of your content, I knew life begins at conception and I'm not having an abortion. And she wasn't a Christian, but she was someone that had encountered the truth and her eyes were opened, and that's what we need to do in our culture. And somebody who is doing that so powerfully on social media and in the world is Millicent Sedra from Echo Church.
Are you going to Australia? Come on, are you ready to fight for the lives of the unborn? Girls, boys, all human beings deserve human rights. Can I get an amen? Amen. You know, as we come together and to gather around protesting the end of selective abortions, I am just mesmerized at the absence of the feminists. Can I get a yell from any feminists here? Yeah, I didn't think so. It's amazing to see the lack of the feminists. You know, feminists will say, we are here to protect the rights of women up until the point it is a woman in the womb of another woman. That is outrageous. That is outrageous. Your selective advocacy, the hypocrisy of that is absolutely outrageous. Feminists will say, we care about protecting women unless it's protecting a woman from a scalpel from being dismembered in somebody else's womb. That is absolutely outrageous, and we fight for all lives, whether you're in the womb or you're outside of the womb. We fight for boys and girls. We fight for all human life. Why? Because human life is valuable. Human life is valuable, and human beings deserve rights because they are human. Because they are human. There is no other reason for the fact that human beings deserve human rights other than the fact that they are human. Does anybody else agree there should be no qualifiers to your value as a human being? Your skin color is not a qualifier to your value. Your value doesn't lie in your skin color. Your value does not lie in your gender. Your value does not lie in the fact that you're a boy or a girl. Your value does not lie in these things. Your value lies in one reason, and it's because you were created by God Himself. You were made in the image of God. Your value hinges on the fact that you were created by God Himself. There should be no qualifiers to the values of human beings. You know, I came out to the feminists, but now I want to come off to the Christians for a second, because I'm from church, this is what I do. I go around the world and I go to preach the message, and I want to just come. Do I have any Christians in this place? I love them. That is like 90%. Catholics, Protestants, I want to speak to the Christians for a second. When did we decide it is the government's job to decide the value of human life? When did we decide as Christians that, you know, we can let the government decide whether life in the womb is valuable or not? When did we decide that as Christians? You know, when they came up to Jesus and said, should we pay the taxes to the government or not? Should we pay our taxes to Caesar? Jesus said, bring me a coin. And they brought him a coin. He said, whose face is on that coin? They said, Caesar's face is on that coin. So he said, so give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, but give to God what belongs to God. And my question is, if Caesar's face is on your money, so you give your tax to that government, where is God's face? Where has God branded his image on every single human being, male and female, in the room or outside of the room? Mankind is valuable. Why? Because we were created in God's image. Mankind is valuable for one reason. We were designed and created intricately and divinely by a creator. We reject the idea that we just popped up because of some big bang or evolved from some monkeys. We actually believe we were created by God himself. Therefore, human beings are valuable. In the word or outside of the word, male or female. And I'll end with this, you know, I hear so many Christians say to me, Millie, you know, I personally wouldn't get an abortion, but who am I to dictate what somebody else wants to do with their body? You know, I personally wouldn't get it. I know it's murder, I know it's wrong, but who am I to dictate what another woman wants to do with their body? What do you mean, who am I? That is like saying, I personally wouldn't gas the Jews, but who am I to dictate what Hitler wants to do? What do you mean, who am I? If you want to come after the value of somebody's life, if you want to take advantage or abuse somebody made in the image of God, that is my place to speak. As a Christian, that is your place to speak. 90% of you are Christians. If you're a Christian listening to this online, this is your place to speak. And I want to tell you, it has been the Christians that have always been pro-life. The Christians have always been pro-life throughout all of history. It was the Christians that abolished infanticide. It was the Christians that abolished the burning of widows in India. It was the Christians that abolished human sacrifice. And it will be the people of God that abolish abortion.
Because, you know, in this state, abortion up to birth was legislated in 2019, and then in my state of South Australia in 2021, and then in Western Australia in 2023, and at that point, every single state and territory had abortion up to birth for any reason. And I think many people felt hopeless. Did you guys feel a bit hopeless? Because, you know, I think we thought we fought and we tried, but we lost. But what I'm telling you is that this is a turning point in our culture, because we are the people that are going to end abortion, and we are those people because we know that we have to. We know that if we don't, this gets worse. And I'm so grateful because I know you guys are standing up, and some of you guys have brought kids, and I know some of you are elderly, and I know it's a huge sacrifice to come today. I totally get it. I mean, I'm wearing like 7-centimeter heels, so it's not easy. And to come here tonight, my husband and I had to leave our 5 beautiful children in Adelaide with a friend, and I'll be back tomorrow, but it is hard. It's hard for each of us, you know, to take the time out and to say that we're going to do this. But the thing is, with each one of us standing up, I know that a tide is being created that is totally going to engulf this place. They do not know what is going to hit them. And tonight we might have a couple of thousand, but next year when this bill goes to a vote, we need to completely shut down this street. I need every single one of you to bring at least 10 people with you, and we have time. Because this bill has been introduced today, but it won't go to a vote until next year, so we've got time on our hands. And as we get to the end of the rally, I'm going to tell you what I would like you guys to do. But before we get to that point, I want to tell you the other part to that story from the midwife. She told me that she's seen so many abortions over 20 years and the women look so sad. And she said, you know what? Almost 100% of those women do not have a man by their side. They do not have a boyfriend or a father or a son or a partner, no one with them. And we don't have the data in Australia, but in America, the CDC collects the data, and over 80% of women who go into abortions do not have a partner with them. They do not have a man by their side. So we need men in this fight to stand up. And this is the bit, and I know women find it hard to be quiet, and I've been hearing a lot of women in this, but this is the bit where I'm going to say, women, you got to zip it. Because if you are a man in this crowd, and you want to stand up for the babies, you want to stand up for the women, and you want to have a voice to say we must end abortion, I want to hear you roar. Can you cheer for me now? Men, give us a line! They got women the right to vote and stand in Parliament. They were pro-life, and then in the 60s, these horrible feminists came along who said that for women to be equal to men, they have to be able to kill their babies. And now we are the women of 2025, and we are saying that this is not feminism. This is not right. This is not what it means to be pro-women. So in a minute, when I say, I want to hear you roar, and so man, you're zipping it, which you guys won't find it so hard because you have less words than us apparently. But the women, I want to hear you yell your lungs out for this country, for life, for the babies. Women, hear us roar! Women won. Alright, now a woman who is roaring in the Parliament is Susan Carter. She's amazing. She used to be the President of Right to Life in New South Wales, and now she's in the Parliament and she's fighting for human rights of people from birth to the point of natural death. She's such an amazing woman. Can we please welcome Susan Carter?
It is so wonderful to stand here and see so many people who are all here for life. So many pink balloons. As a woman, it is so great to see everybody standing in solidarity for just how important we women are. So, thank you. And I'm so pleased to stand here to support John Ruddick and his really important bill, which will ban sex selection abortions. If I walked into a classroom and I said to a girl in year 10, oh, what are you doing in school? You should get out of school. You're a girl. You'd say to me, that's wrong. That's discrimination. And the law would say to me, that's illegal. If I walked into a university class and I spoke to a girl who was in the second year of a degree and said, what are you doing at university? You're a girl, get out of here. You'd say to me, that's wrong. That's discrimination. And the law would say to me, that's illegal. If I walked into a workplace and I said to somebody who had a contract, what are you doing working here? You're a woman. Get out. You'd say to me, that's wrong. That's discrimination. That's illegal. If I walked into an IVF clinic and I had female embryos, and I said to the technicians there, I want you to destroy those female embryos. I don't want female embryos. They would say to me, no, NHMRC says that's wrong, that's discrimination, that's illegal. If I go to an abortion clinic and I say, I want to get rid of the baby I'm carrying because it's a girl, they say, 10 o'clock Tuesday work for you? Because there is no law in New South Wales that says we cannot terminate a life simply because it is female, and that law has to change. We need to clearly say that all lives are important, all lives matter, and just because of a child's sex, that is no right to kill that child, to terminate that life. We need this law. We need this law because we need to stop the gendercide. We need to stop the killing of girl babies. We need to stop the gendercide. It's scary to think we are 30 years behind India and we are 30 years behind China. 3 decades ago, both of those countries passed laws and said you cannot use ultrasound for sex selection because they were so worried about what was happening and the choices that were being made. And they said, these aren't choices that we want made. We are 30 years behind these countries. And you know what? 2026, with your help and your support and you being here, that stops. We will have a law that says sex selection abortion is illegal. Parliament squibbed it last time. They said, if you look at, I think it's section 16 of the Abortion Law Reform Act, it says Parliament's unhappy with sex selection abortions. We're not keen on it. We don't like it. Nice people don't do that. No person does that from 2026. It's gone. It's gone. So, watch Joe Howe turn up to all the rallies, work hard, pray hard, and we will get this victory.
But I don't want you to go home. We might run a few minutes over. Is that okay? Can we just 5 minutes? Okay, just 5 minutes. All right. I just want to say something really significant that has been introduced this year. Is we created a brand called Bird Flip. Bird Flip. All right, remember it. Bird Flip. Now, the reason we created that brand is because we knew that to take on the Goliath of abortion, we had to have women speak up. Because young women have been brainwashed into thinking that to be pro-abortion is to be pro-women. And these brave young women on Bird Flip have stepped up to the fight. I want you to follow them on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on X, on YouTube. This is just the first year of these amazing women stepping up into this fight. But it's not going to be the last. This is going to be the biggest movement of women in the country, and I mean that. The radical leftists, those feral lefties, that's the movement that's dying, but our movement is growing and it's being spearheaded by Bird Flip. Can we please welcome Lola, Hannah, Fiona, and
Anna! We're going to try and get everyone on stage. Hopefully it won't collapse, but that'll be good for you, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, let's make some noise! Hi! It is so good to be here. I am Anna, Lola, Hannah, Fiona, and it is such a joy to be with you guys today. So, I want everyone leaving this rally with no voice left, because we have to yell, we have to make noise, we have to speak for the babies who have no voice, because the government is not protecting the most vulnerable. So, are you ready to scream? We're going to start with the first chant, which is let them live. So in unison, let's go. Let them live. put pressure on these fools who are doing their jobs. They're taking our taxes and they're not protecting babies. So, let's do the next one. All right, guys. So this next one, we're going to say, save our girls. 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 Well done. All right, guys, we've got one more chance, and we need 100% energy from every single person here, because we know politicians in this place do nothing unless the people stand up. So this last one, we need every single person, 100% energy. Pass the bill. 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 Well done, guys! Round of applause!
Right, these girls are amazing. Come on. Let's give them a cheer, guys. Aren't they amazing? Okay, so John Ruddick called it. They don't have an argument. They don't have a substantive argument against this bill. And so what they're going to say is that it's racist. That it's racist to say that baby girls are being killed more in Indian and Chinese communities than other communities. But it's not racist because it's the truth. It just is the truth that in our country we have a problem with sex-selective abortion. Now, I'm Australian, but I'm originally from India. And in the country that I'm originally from, there will be 6 million fewer girls by 2030 because of sex-selective abortion. And even India and China have banned sex-selective abortion, and yet here we have not. Here we have not. But all of that is beside the point. Because we are Australians, and we need to say that in our country, you can come from all over the world, but if you do something evil, we don't want it. We don't want to burn widows like they did historically in India. We don't want to do that. We don't want female genital mutilation, and we have laws against that. And we have to ban killing baby girls because they are girls. That doesn't make you racist. That does not make you racist. And I don't want you to go away from here and for them to call you racist. Do not let them use that to silence you. Do not let them say to you, you are a man, you can't speak up about abortion. Do not let them say to you, you are Christian, you can't speak up about abortion. Do not let them say to you, you are racist, you can't speak up for these baby girls. Are you going to let them do that? Are you going to let them silence you? Because we are Australian, and when we know something is wrong, we must make it illegal. I had someone ask me earlier today, who was at the rally, and he said, Joe, can't the woman just lie? Like, if we have a ban on sex-selective abortion, can't the woman just go into the doctor's surgery and just say another reason? And it's a really good question. But the answer to that question is, we have laws against rape, we have laws against murder, we have laws against domestic violence. Now, do they stop every incident? Do they stop every sexual assault, every murder, every violence in the home? They don't. But law has a normative effect. I'm a professor of law, and one of the things that we teach our students is that law has a normative effect. Our laws matter. And so we know that girls are being killed because they're girls, and we need a law to stop it, and that is why we're here today. Okay, and I want to invite... We have a brave little girl, Esther, who's going to lead us in the national anthem. Are you feeling nervous? Okay. We'll start in a second, but I just want to say, if Esther can stand on this stage and sing the national anthem for our great country, then each of us must make the commitment tonight to stand up for our great country, to make it what it should be. And that must be our resolve tonight. You're so brave, Esther. You're not going to let us sing alone. So if you don't know the national anthem, maybe get the lyrics up on your phone right now. But let's sing our loudest for our country, for our children, and for our future.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is kept by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you so much, Esther. You're amazing. You're going to stand up for the girls, and we want every person in this country to look at Esther's courage and to stand up for our future and our children. Thank you so much, Esther. What a beautiful name, hey, for such a time as this, Esther. Amazing. And for such a time as this, because you know, the thing is this, guys, we have a couple of thousand here today, but now we look forward. We look forward to the fact that this will be passed next year. Next year we will bring this to a vote, and we will be the people that were here at the earliest. We were the people that were the pioneers for these babies. And this won't be the last bill we pass, this will be the first bill. Are you with me? Because we want to save all of the babies. That's what we want to do. And so here are our next steps. As we leave from here, what I need you to do is to start talking about it to your friends and to your family. I need you to talk about it to your colleagues. Do not let them shut you down. Just speak the truth calmly. And I need you to speak up, okay? I really need you to do it. That's how we turn this around. The next thing is this. I need you to write to the MPs. Chris Minns is the Premier of this state. He gave Amanda Constable time. Chris Minns used his leadership and his power to pass the Radical Greens bill. We now need him to use his power for good. So I need you to email the MPs, particularly starting at the top. And next Friday, the 31st of October at 10 o'clock, we're meeting outside the office of Kylie Wilkinson. She's a Labor MP from East Hills. So Kylie Wilkinson, I'll put it up on socials, you'll get an email too. Probably a text message as well. Sorry for harassing you guys. But this is important. So next Friday, we're meeting outside the office of East Hills MP Kylie Wilkinson. She's the most marginal Labor MP in the state. She voted for abortion earlier this year, and we need to letterbox her whole electorate to let her know that we will not vote for her unless she votes for John Ruddick's bill. I know that a lot of you guys work and you might not be able to be there, but if you can, it's 10 o'clock next Friday. And the thing is this, we're going to letterbox key seats because this has to come from Labor, they're the party of government. So if they want to pass this bill, it will pass. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to have to work so hard and it's going to take a lot. But I need your help to do it. And the fact that you stayed all the way to 6:30, the fact that you came in 40-degree heat, I know that you're with me. So can we do this together, guys? Yeah. Before we finish up, I do want to acknowledge the police because there have been a lot of protests this year, and the police in Victoria had rocks thrown at them by radical feral leftists from Antifa. Channel 7 said it was the good people, but it wasn't. Don't believe what you see on Channel 7. But the thing is, these guys literally risk their lives to protect us. And so can we please give 3 cheers to the police? Is it? together. Thank you, Sydney.
All right, so posters up, posters up, posters up. And 1, 2, let's come over this way, let's come over this way. No. That's it. Both flips, line it up, shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder, both flips. That's it, and come forward, Rachael, come shoulder to shoulder. And that's it. And eyes this way, in 10. That's it, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and this way. Thank you very much.
All right, so that's the end. Yeah, it was a good turnout.
Did you get a paper?
I've got too many. All right. Yeah, so that's it. So everyone's heading off now. Sorry, I got interrupted by someone again. Yeah, there was a good turnout. Good numbers. Not as big as previous ones, and then surprisingly no counter protests unless they're over here where they were herded to last time. But I just don't think they turned up for this, because I think they were because it was the Greens. They were fighting against the Greens last time, so they came out in defence. But now this is John Ruddick. They don't like it, of course, but it's like I don't think they have the same. Yeah, they don't have the same amount of care about it. But they had a lot of cops here. Probably they learn from previous things. There's a guy with Aussie flag shaking the coppers' hands. So kids today. The coppers, what are they heading to? They're going down here for some reason, but I think it's nothing. They're just, the lady was very nice to the cops afterwards. Doctor. Anyway, yeah, we'll just call it. That's it. We'll call it a day. Home. Head home for a nice Cooper Stout, nice beer. All right, all done.